Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of ZB's Horsepower Talk. As always, I'm ZB Zach Brown. Joined with me, as always, is former 410 Sprint Car crew chief and mechanic, my dad, Jeff Brown. A lot to go over from Iowa in NASCAR. We are previewing another Iowa track, the biggest sprint car race in all of dirt race. It's the biggest dirt race in all of racing. Let's just say that. It's the Knoxville Nationals this week. Last week was the 360 Nationals, getting into the 410 Big One Nationals. That's the big one. And a lot of stuff to look forward to that. Is history going to be made in the Knoxville Nationals this year? That remains to be seen. But first, let's go over NASCAR from Iowa. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share anywhere you get your podcast platform, and follow along on all social media platforms. Iowa gave a really good race, both Xfinity and Cup Series. A lot more crashes in the Cup Series than we expected. Total, I believe, is 13 cautions, the most of all year long, and it honestly helped it a lot. Racing was really good. We kind of expected it was not going to race quite like a short track, and it didn't, and that car did really, really well.
Yeah, and it's nice the way the surface was in Iowa. It's like the cars would get a little squirrely, hard to drive. That just makes passing opportunities for everybody. So that made it kind of neat. It's like you just, a little loose getting in, you slip those tires, somebody gets underneath you, slides you up out of the way, and all of a sudden you're in the back, Larson. But yeah,
Well,
it was pretty good. I am going to bitch about the TV coverage a little bit. There's a battle going on for the lead. Let's go to frickin' commercial and not a side by side at least. It's unbelievable, and
welcome to NBC.
that's just
It's
and
it's
and can Jeff Burton shut the hell up? I mean, damn.
It just goes to show you that the broadcasting with TNT and Prime, which is the same broadcast, it's just two separate channels. It's
Yeah.
not on actual uh, regular stations. That makes it significantly better. It just makes the broadcasting way better. Um, yeah, that's just. I think you're like I've been saying, you're going to see streaming take over NASCAR at this rate. I mean, it's the younger generation coming to see it. They they don't want to see all these damn commercials. I mean, everybody from Gen Z and on up right now, they have the attention span of a squirrel, so they don't want to see any of these commercials anymore. And when NBC does that, and just people just lose interest in that, it gets annoying. And there is a portion that they kind of have to because it is network television, and it's not really on their broadcast. It kind of comes from the network itself, but that's when you just gotta find a streaming alternative.
Yeah. You know, they televise soccer matches and don't have any commercials. They have sponsors around the billboard, put the bottom part of the screen, have your sponsors on the bottom, and just have the freaking race. I mean, I don't know why that would be such a, I
I
got news for the sponsors. If you interrupt a good race, I'm not buying your shit. Just to let you know that right now. Unless it's beer, then a good chance you're still going to get
Well,
some.
it was a good race, and William Byron kind of came out of nowhere and ended up winning that race. The two fastest cars of the day, and we kind of called it the Fords. Well, you called it the Fords were going to be really, really fast, and they
Yeah.
were. They just ran out of time. Keselowski and Ryan Blaney were the fastest cars they were battling out throughout the day. Keselowski got his first two stage wins of the entire
Yeah.
year with
Yeah, he was
getting one
good.
and two, and he looked really good. It's just the way the cautions fell, pitch strategies, how that all played out. That made it really interesting, and just the racing was just really good. I think if there were longer green flag runs, I don't think William Byron would have made it because his fuel he ran out right after his burnout like that.
Oh,
It was
okay.
out.
Yeah, there
So
couldn't have been much left.
if there was one or if there was one less caution, I think he would have been out of fuel. So that goes to show you how significant those cautions were. And you mentioned Larson for a little bit ago. Yeah, Larson. That's the first time you've seen him get really animated on the radio. He doesn't usually get cuss everybody out. He usually cusses himself out, but
Yeah.
he got really animated. He was really frustrated with everybody racing him. It started off with Chase, and Chase was making it three wide really for no reason on a restart that didn't really play a significant factor and everything. Got damage from that, damage from other cars when he got pushed up the racetrack, and it just wasn't his day. At least some people didn't have him in fantasy, um, and didn't use him up already. And yeah, so Yeah, Iowa needs to stay. The crowd was phenomenal for the Xfinity race too. I mean, what
Yeah,
else are you
it
gonna do
was
in Iowa
packed the
right
whole
now?
weekend.
I mean, what else are you gonna do in Iowa right now? Ain't nothing
Yeah,
big.
they're gonna hang out and then they're gonna head an hour, southwest there and head for Knoxville this week.
Which again we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
now,
that's what I would do if I had the opportunity to be out there. Might as well go see the Cup race and then stay for the Nationals.
yeah, yeah. And just one thing on the Xfinity race, can Jamie McMurray please get off of Connor Zilich's dick? I mean, damn. I mean, Connor Zilich, yes, he's a great race car driver, but I mean, they would talk about something, not even anything to do with Connor Zilich. And Jamie Murray's like, let me backtrack 5 minutes ago when I was still on his dick. Uh, Connor Zilich, and I'm like, oh my God, Jamie.
I
Like,
did like your meme.
I'm like, stop. Yeah, go check that out, everybody. That one was actually a pretty smart one. I'm like, stop. Like
Yeah.
that one was a little aggressively annoying. That was I'm like, okay, we get it. We get it. Like, come on. Talk about anybody else. And Zilich was kind of at the fault of some late strategies and stuff that happened in that one too. That was a pretty sharp car that he had though. Uh,
Yeah.
but we're getting into rights and lefts again. We are at Watkins Glen, one of the traditional road course races that they have instead of the ones that they makeshift and added throughout the
Yeah.
years. So this is one I accept. I like this one. This race is a lot like turns a lot like a super speedway because there's a
Yeah.
long straightaway. It is a very interesting track. And I mean, it's safe to say that SVG is the favorite to win this week because just the way he races on on a road course is just incredible. But it kind of goes to super speedway, goes to a short track. It does a little bit of everything. The bus stop, that is a huge portion of this race. I like Watkins Glen a lot,
I do
and
too.
it'll probably be good as long as SVG doesn't get a 25-second lead.
Yeah. You know, I when they went to Sonoma, I said that SVG wasn't going to be as fast and dominate like he did, but yeah, I was wrong on that one, so I'm not going to say that this week.
Yeah, it uh I mean, I don't even know what more you can really preview. I'd be shocked if SVG doesn't at least finish podium at the
Yeah.
very, very least.
Yeah, I think
Do
he's going to have a problem to not be top three.
what you do have the young phenom Connor Zilic back in the Cup Series this week, so expect him to be contending for at least a top 10. I think he'll be impressive. Even if he gets into I think some other ones he's gotten caught up into some wrecks, but he does find a way to come back and finish strong. He's learning from SVG. They're in the same garage. Expect very similar setups that they have, and expect Connor to pick up a lot, and expect him to be racing. And I'll be honest, if he wins, it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not gonna get on it. I'm not gonna get on him like Jamie McMurray does, but um, yeah,
If Connor Zilic wins the Cup race this week, yeah, he deserves a little bit of monkey spanking there with Jamie McMurray. That's for sure.
and if it's a sweep, oh God. Uh,
Yeah, I expect him to probably win the Xfinity race for sure.
and really everybody else, it's kind of open. I mean, you
I
probably
think
expect Denny Hamlin to kind of suck because he doesn't do great at road courses. It's not his forte really, but I mean, almost everybody else you can expect to continue. You'll see people that you don't really expect to do well on traditional tracks. I mean, again, SVG, even though SVG has been improving each and every week, so
he's getting a little better. He always ends up like he wasn't bad at Iowa, and it just kept spinning out and screwing things. It's like I, I hopefully that can click and he can become a decent oval. Dinger got better at ovals for sure. So
I mean,
hopefully
he's got good equipment.
yeah. So hopefully that clicks for him. I'd like to see him. He seems like genuinely a pretty cool dude. I'd like to see him run well.
See a few more of the rugby kicks.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's time to get into our NASCAR fantasy. Recapping last week, I won again. That's like 3 weeks in a row. That's called a winning streak. I am closing in. I am 43 points back now, so I've gained like 4 points. But it's coming along. Now, Watkins Glen, it's crapshoot. It could be anybody's, and this is where strategy can fall into play a lot. A lot of people short pit, and some people stay out. So depending on how everything works out, see how that goes.
Then you
But
never know if weather's going to throw a monkey into this, monkey wrench into this whole thing. So
yep.
they will run in the rain or light rain anyway.
Well, we will see what happens here at Watkins Glen. Let's give our fantasy lineup for this road course. So I will go first this week. My starting lineup, I left one person out, and I'll explain it here in a second. So I've got Chris Buescher, SVG, shocker. I do have Connor Zilic in this one, Chase Elliott, and Michael McDowell. And in my garage, I have AJ Allmendinger. I left Larson out. He will be in for Richmond. That's my final use for him. Because there's only two more races after this for the regular season, then it resets.
Yeah.
Now, Zane Smith versus Carson Hocevar. This is a hot take, but I have Zane Smith over Hocevar in this one. Zane Smith is
Okay.
very impressive on the road courses. SVG versus Larson. You can't go against SVG right now. You got to go SVG in this one. If that means Larson wins now, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
William Byron versus Chastain. He's got the momentum. I've got William Byron in this one over Chastain. And Chris Buescher and Michael McDowell both are in my lineup. Chris Buescher is a sleeper to me in this one. I've got Chris Buescher. So go
Okay.
ahead with your lineup, then we'll give our race winning picks.
So for fantasy, if anybody's watching, if you want to win this week, do the exact opposite of what I do because I am horrible at this. So anyway, in my starters, I have SVG, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Christopher Bell, Chase Elliott, and in my garage, I have AJ Allmendinger. I got to try to make up some points somehow. So after this week, I got nobody left. But so my matchups, I have Carson Hocevar over Zane Smith, SVG over Larson, Willie B over Ross Chastain, and I have Michael McDowell over Chris Buescher.
Well, this is how you're going to make up ground this week. The hot pick this week
Probably
is
not.
the hot pick this week is SVG. Hot pick is Chase Elliott. Avoid Ryan Blaney, avoid Bubba Wallace, and the
Which
sleeper
is
Kyle
weird.
Busch.
Ryan Blaney's a good road course racer. I don't know. They always say to avoid him, and he's always
It
right
says
up in
avoid
there.
Bubba. I don't really know how much I'd avoid Bubba. Not to win. I would. Holy crap, he's plus 17,000. That's a little aggressive.
Yeah, Bubba struggles on road courses.
I didn't think that bad. Sleepers, Kyle Busch. We're gonna just say no on that. That car's just junk. They just forget how to adjust on a car, and it's
Yeah.
just yeah, it's just bad. All right, so race winning picks for this week. Yeah, it's easy to go with SVG. Should I go with him? Probably, but I am changing up a little bit. He's in my lineup. He is the sleeper for me for this week. I have Chris Buescher winning at Watkins Glen.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit here on this one. I'm going to take SVG.
There you go.
I did not get mom's pick. She's actually not here right at the moment.
Okay. All right.
She'd
Well,
probably pick Chase Elliott.
that's also a good pick as well. Um, all right. Well, that does it for NASCAR. It's time to get into the big one, previewing the Knoxville Nationals, the biggest dirt race of the year. I'm saying it. I know there's late model people that will get really mad at me saying that, but it's the
Yeah.
Knoxville Nationals. This is the biggest race of the year at the sprint car capital of the world. Where the Hall of Fame is, we were just there recently. The 360 Nationals just wrapped up last week with Rico Abreu holding off Kyle Larson. A lot of good racing has happened in the last couple of weeks, building up the excitement for the Knoxville Nationals, and I think this might be the best one yet.
Yeah. So, it starts Wednesday, tomorrow, Wednesday, runs through Saturday. Probably 160 sprint cars coming out for this thing. And it's pretty cool. All the cars they're coming out with new paint jobs. Cars are going to look different. Last year, Larson was in a black car. All of a sudden, it was kind of weird. Brent Marks is in a yellow car, which is absolutely gorgeous. His car is really sharp. Carson Macedo's got a different paint job. It's going to be just looking at the paint schemes is going to be pretty cool.
I don't like
Like I said,
Macedos.
what's that?
I don't like Macedos. It doesn't show up well.
It looks better sitting there when it's on the track. It doesn't show up that well.
Yeah, it's a camo color, right? If I'm not
Kind of like an olive. it was pretty cool. Like when we had Sammy on, we always talked about had Sammy had nice looking cars, and a lot of what he said makes sense. He's like he always wanted to make sure that car was extremely visible on the track, and you knew exactly who was in that car. And it's like, you know what? That does make a lot of sense. Like you see, like James McFadden, he's in that all black car, which looks really cool. You can't see it on the
Doesn't show
track,
up. Mhm.
so that's and like Larson's car, nothing special, white with the black
But you know
numbers
it's
with the
his.
red outline. I mean, it's just it pops.
And
Brent
and
Marks's car looks good.
I will say, Macri's car though, because it does have
Macri's car
a good amount of
looks real
red and
nice,
all that, and the sponsorship helps, so that one pops out too.
yeah. So it's pretty cool. So so the way the format works for the Knoxville National is a little different here. So they're going to split the field in half, and I don't remember if you can request which night you get or whatever. So half of them going to run Wednesday night, half of them going to run Thursday. The absolute most important thing for the Knoxville Nationals is time trialing. You want to be quick time, as far up as you possibly can. That get and it goes by points. So you get points for time trial, quick time trial. Then they invert the fast. Let's see, in time trial they take the top 50. They go to the heat races. Everybody else goes to the last chance qualifier to get the tag on to the back of the heats. But they invert eight fastest in the heat races. So then the second most important thing is how you finish in your heat race. So if you can, start eighth and get up to the front, the good chance you're gonna be up front in the A main. The heats and time trial are actually more important than the A main. You could have guys that time trial real good and even have a good heat race and maybe drop out of the A main and they don't have as many points as somebody who might win the Wednesday or Thursday night qualifying A mains. It's kind of interesting and it's really tricky to know what you need to do. So it's important time trials, heat race, and then get a good finish in the A main, and you're going to start up front for the Knoxville Nationals. So that's basically it in a nutshell. And they calculate all these points, and then they line you up heads up Saturday night. Top point guy gets the pole. So it makes it. The last couple of years it has not been a pass for the lead. So we'll see what happens this year.
Probably because Larson led every single lap the
But you
last
know
year.
what? If you do everything you do, you deserve to start up front. Everybody's like, well, you start up front. You know what? You did everything right your qualifying night.
I
You
mean,
got to be rewarded. So,
the goal is to start up front. I mean, I don't know
yeah,
why people get mad at.
why would you want to go through and then be inverted four or six in the A main? Just, yeah, the fans would probably like to see passing, but you get the top 10 cars out of Knoxville, you put them up front, they're going to be hard to pass.
It's 50 laps, right? And they stop halfway through.
Yes.
And this is where last year everybody was putting fresh right rear tires on the car, and Larson did not. Paul Silva's like, "We got it, it's
Yep.
fine," and smoked him.
Yep.
And it just he let 2 years in a row, flag to flag. Can he make it 3 years in a row? It's never been done. And to win three Knoxville Nationals in a row would be absolutely historic because it just doesn't happen anymore at this caliber of racing anymore. You don't have Steve Kinser dominating the series like you had back in the 80s. You don't have Doug Wolfgang that's winning a bunch of these Knoxville Nationals and all these large touring series. So to win three in a row at this caliber now, with everybody having multi-million-dollar uh, yeah, race cars, that's gonna show. Now you're gonna see a lot of Pennsylvania guys come with little scrappier trailers.
Yeah, there's a lot of tank
That's the ones you're gonna
vehicles.
want to root for. Those smaller guys that you always want to root for the underdogs in all of this, and to see if they can knock off the big guys. Um, we will see what happens, and I guess without further ado, it's time to give our pick to win the Knoxville Nationals for 2025. So I
Yeah.
gave the NASCAR pick first. So who is your pick to win this year's Knoxville Nationals?
It's surprising you said about no one has done three in a row. That's actually surprising. I would have thought
I don't know
Kinser.
if no one's done three in a row or just hasn't been done in a long time.
Okay, I would have thought Steve Kinser. I know Wolfgang won it 84, 85, and I was out for 86, and he ran third. So he was close. But so I don't think it's going to be three in a row this year. I'm going to go with his buddy from California. He won the 360 Nationals. He's been fast out there. I'm gonna go with Rico Abreu for this one, which is gonna would be a huge, huge fan favorite win if he's there. There'd be a lot of beer drank from that little man that he wins the Knoxville Nationals.
Uh, yeah. And so the guy that everybody wants to always look out for is Donnie Schatz. But the first thing you mentioned was the most important thing was time trials. And the worst thing that he's been doing all
Yeah.
year, the last couple of years, is time trials. It kind of puts himself uh in a hole. And I mean, he'll start in there, and I mean, he could surprise us. And I mean, if there's anybody that can get it done, I'm going to go real quick before I confirm that there hasn't been three in a row. There has been three in a row. Steve Kinser's done it a lot. Okay, Steve Kinser did it four times did four in a row. Five in a
Okay.
row. Five in a row.
Yes, Steve Kinzer was kind of good.
Yeah, Steve Kinser would have had a lot more in a row. uh oh, and Donnie Schatz had five in a row.
Oh, did he
Okay, so
really?
everything I
Okay.
just said, just ignore. But nobody's led flag to flag 3 years in a row. I know that one. I know they have not led flag to flag 3 years in a row. I do know that. I know there's been passes for those. So at least don't come at me on that one. All right. I also don't think it's going to be three Knoxville Nationals in a row at this caliber. I mean, it'll be impressive if he does, and really neat. And the way he
I
just
wouldn't say he don't have a shot.
oh, I mean,
He's probably the favorite right now, I would think. Odds
between well,
favorite.
with him having the best mechanic and crew chief in the entire field. Now, yeah, I said it. Yeah, Paul Silva's the best right now. It's just
Yeah, I agree with that.
um, my pick this year, and it's who you pick for the Kings Royal. Man, he's been so good this year, and I think, and I've been going back and forth who I wanted to go for the Knoxville Nationals, but I really think this is his year to have something really big on his resume. I have Buddy Kofoid to win the Knoxville Nationals.
Okay. I just kind of want to throw out, and I don't know if you want to call this a dark horse pick or a long shot pick. Keep your eye on Anthony Macri.
Yep,
He has,
he's been out there practicing,
yep, because
preparing. He's run
Knoxville,
some
you
local
got to go out
races.
there and race. You don't just go out there and be fast at Knoxville. It drives completely different. So he's been out there. I, I mean, he's not my pick to win, but I would not be surprised
he
if he did
he's
win.
already proven he can win the biggest races.
Yeah,
He won the Kings Royal. To win the Kings Royal and the Knoxville Nationals in the same year would be something crazy.
yeah, that's
Does
for
not
sure.
happen often,
No,
unless you're Steve Kinser.
yeah, well, there's exceptions to every rule.
uh, well, I think that does it for this week. A lot of big time racing. I'm going to keep the corn icon since we're still in Iowa this week. Keep that in Knoxville. We'll have a different. I might start doing AI is pretty fun. So
Yeah,
if you just change up the icon every week to where they're racing, it's kind of cool. Um, again, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast, YouTube channel, all that fun stuff. Check out the TikTok and the YouTube channel for the fun memes that I do have on it this last week. I think I was pretty proud of that meme on this last
yeah,
week.
that was a good one.
So all right, well, we'll see who's crowned the Knoxville Nationals champion here this year, and see what happens to Watkins Glen. So everybody enjoy a good week of racing. We'll see you next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, a lot of good racing on this week. Bye, everybody.